Now this video has 3 million views at the time of this recording. Now I tried to watch this video as a student, but this video is almost an hour long. So my goal is to break it down and summarize it within 5 minutes, and we have a lot to cover. So let's dive right into this. Hi, my name is Hugo. I'm a study performance coach from Study Smarter Academy. Now the first thing he talks about is that hearing and listening are not the same. And he talks about the 3 most common problems with listening. Now problem number 1 is fake listening or pseudo listening that he talks about. Basically, you're taking mental vacations. It's all to do about your focus. Sometimes you can just be looking at your teacher and you just be like fake nodding and thinking that yes, you're absorbing information, but actually your mind is also wandered away. So catch yourself doing that, come back and actually engage more. Problem number 2 he talks about is selective listening, only being able to listen to parts of the information that is delivered to you. For example, if you were sitting way out at the back, you are likely to be prone to distractions. People who are next to you are likely not going to be focusing as well if they chose to be at the back. Or you can be seeing different people's screens down the front, or you're actually seeing these people talking around the back, people are leaving. All of these things are distractions and distracting you from listening with intent. And problem number 3 he talks about is critical listening or criticizing while you're listening. So when your teacher or lecturer talks about something that you don't agree at all, for example, it can be a strong belief on religion or politics or something totally contrary to your own belief, you will be fixated on that point. You'll be like, okay, no, I'm not going to listen. Why are you saying this? And then you continue to rethink on the same point, and you're missing out on all the valuable information that may be useful for your upcoming exams. So then after talking about these 3 problems, he talks about the 6 solutions of addressing all of these and to actually listen with more intent. So the first solution he talks about to improve your listening skills is the awareness. So the 3 problems that we talked about, what were they again? Were you actually listening? Pause this video, make sure you can recall them, okay? Alright, so number 1 was fake listening. Number 2 was selective listening. And then number 3 was critical or criticized listening. So if you're listening properly, make sure you have a system to try and learn and memorize as you go. And make sure you're catching yourself doing any of these 3 things and stop the cycle. Say, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to focus and listen. And number 2, he talks about being physically and mentally prepared for listening. Physically meaning make sure that you have a good night's sleep before, and also you're not very hungry. Because if you remember last time you were very, very hungry and starving, the last thing you're going to think about is what they're going to talk to you in the lecture. You're going to think about what you're going to eat next. Oh my goodness, this hunger, I cannot stand anymore. That's the only thing that you're going to be thinking about. And with sleep, I don't have time to expand on this now, but I'm going to link a video up here. Make sure to check it out to improve your sleep and sleep cycles. And then the second part of the second tip was to be mentally aware of all your burdens and mental burdens and stress that you have. One thing he talked about was the moment he walks in for a lecture, he looks at the 4 walls around him and say to himself, right, from now on, this hour on, this is the only room that I'm going to be in. This is my universe. Nothing else exists. And whenever anything comes up into his mind, pushes it away and keeps listening. So maybe try this. If you're at home, it can be your 4 walls of your room. Maybe try this out and see if it works for you. Number 3 he talks about is setting a goal. Setting a high expectation of yourself, trying to understand and listen to 100% of what your lecturer or teacher is teaching you. Because if you even slip a little bit away from 100%, you're still doing very well. We often see those students who are in school or university, they're aiming for a pass or a 50%, and these are the likely students that are going to slip and fail, as opposed to those who aim for 90% and slip a little bit and get 80%. Same for your listening. Set a high 100% goal, and even if you slip a little bit, you'll be listening to a lot. Number 4 he talks about sitting front and center. Don't be afraid that you'll be picked on. Make sure you sit front and center so nothing else is going to distract you. No one will be in front of you. You won't be looking at the screens. You won't be listening to those conversations. People who are leaving, they won't distract you. And it is also much harder for you to fall asleep as well. So I, as myself, as a student, I try to stay in the front most of the times as well. And number 5 he talks about was practicing, because active listening or listening with intent is just a skill. Just like anything, it can be learned. At first, you might be very bad at it, but over time, you can be improving 1% every single day, and you'll have this cumulative exponential effect on yourself. He also then used 5 sentences, you can check out his video, to test yourself on how much you're actually being able to retain longer and longer sentences. This is a practice. So you can get someone else, get a book, get a magazine, get an article, read longer and longer sentences, see how much you can retain word for word. This practices your intentive listening. So make sure you're practicing this as well. In number 6, he talks about this notion of pretending to be fascinated if you have to. It's like your body language. If you're all relaxed and just falling behind, this is where you signal your body to just fall asleep now. I'm so relaxed. I'm not going to listen. So this is probably not the best idea, but instead sit up, be engaged, make sure you're trying to lean forward, make sure that you're trying to be excited about what's going to be taught in this lecture. So this way you signal your body, you signal your mind that you're ready to listen. So these are the tips that he talked about, the 3 problems with listening nowadays, and then the 6 solutions that you can potentially try for your own learning. Now I hope this video has been helpful for you. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.